I'm Kevin Casey. I'm a professional mixed martial arts fighter. And right now, what I'm about to do is issue a warning out to all other competitors.
I don't want overs. I just expect them to happen.
Fatty's gonna fatty is real.
Oh, give me fucking truth, baby. Come on. Let's go.
How have I been this successful in life?
Crikey, I didn't see you there, mate. We're coming to you from down under to get out in the bush and find some ace bets this week on the MMA analysis. That was pretty good, right? You gotta admit, that wasn't bad. I pulled it off.
Not bad. Not too bad.
We've got the hat. We've got the old school shirt vibes. Wes has the Pondo gear. Wes is actually here.
Ponderosa High School football rules.
Shaun, the vibes are good this week.
Are they?
They are.
Awesome.
I demand that they are.
I'm the dad that shows up every now and then.
There you go. That's all we need.
Just I'm gonna pick the opposite of Shaun, and I'm gonna win some money this week.
You are good.
I did that one week, and kind of worked.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat, bro. I don't know what the fuck's going on this year, man. It is very fucking weird. It's so weird.
It makes it entertaining, at least.
No,
Does it?
No, it doesn't. It's not.
No, because we have shit. We have a lot of shit cards recently, and then on top of it, losing money is a
but then you got to win it back. You know,
double down.
That's half the fun.
Like a true degenerate.
Just ask
double down.
What the video?
The chase, baby.
It's the video that our boy Magic posts. That fucking guy. That's like the rent money and all this. Just keep fucking punting. You just keep fucking punting. That's what we're gonna do. I got legal fucking gambling in the state tomorrow. Like I got it. I gotta keep punting.
You're just getting started.
Yep. The app's opened up on the 28th, so that's gonna be like all the free money.
Happy birthday to me. It's wonderful.
There you go.
I can't believe they're doing that for me.
Nice. Oh yeah.
Anyway, we had a card last week, allegedly. I saw a lot of the fights, just tons of fights. Two, actually. It was the last cottage weekend of the season. Closed it up. I can't be paying attention to some trash over in France.
I did watch it sitting in the fucking cabin. I was in the cabin looking out.
You were down at the lake too.
Yeah.
I go up to the lake, you go down to the lake, I assume.
I was building a kitchen island while I watched this fucking shit show on Saturday.
At least you
morning.
got something done. You know,
that's the perfect way to watch it.
Yep. 100%.
Probably took you a little bit longer to build the island than it would have. But it's all good. Anyway, we're gonna recap that. We're gonna hop into, as I so eloquently put it at the top of the show, UFC 293. If you understood all of my Aussie parlance, if you will. But let's go real quick through the Paris card. Was it Paris? It was in France. I assume
it was in Paris.
Yeah. All of France is Paris, right? It's one of those places.
You betcha.
Kicking it off, women's catchweight, Jacqueline Cavalcante. Unanimous decision over Zara Fairn. Farid Basharat, men's bantamweight division, first round arm triangle over Cledison Rodriguez. The big controversy of the card. I'm going to need you guys to weigh in on this one because I know we all care. Jocelyn Edwards loses a decision to old Nora Cornwall. You could say the judges really cornholed her on this one. That was bad, especially because I fucked it up. Angie Lusa, unanimous decision over Rice McKee. Apparently, he almost got knocked out after kind of dominating the fight. Taylor Lapillus, unanimous decision over Colin Loughran. And that was where the prelims. Wes?
Yeah, won a bet shockingly on the first one. Had a little women's over. Got a price on a women's over for once. That Basharat brother is fucking fantastic. That dude is very good, and I think we're gonna need see a step up here in his next fight. Because I thought Rodriguez was decent as well, and he ran through that kid. So that was a great win. Yeah, the old cornhole was throwing fucking sacks all over somewhere because that's unexplainable. Literally, there was a judge on.
Well, since we've got some home cooking, some crowd swaying some judges. It's been a while.
That shit was like, we say it all the time, but I'm not exaggerating. As bad as it gets, like literally as bad as it gets. There's no way on earth you could score that fight for her. Yeah, but it's almost like with a tree falling and nobody around. Like, do we even give a fuck? Was anybody watching? Did
Absolutely
they even
not?
That's the problem.
I bet Reese McKee in 2023. I probably should be fucking smacked upside the head. But he had the old Ange fucking on roller skates in the third round, and I thought he was going to get it done, but
only because the ref wanted fucking death. Like they could have stopped that. McKee got real fucked up, and he got tired out from punching the fuck out of Reese McKee. That is what Reese McKee is good at. The face.
The refs have watched Reese McKee fights. They know he gets slaughtered in every fight.
His brain is nearing pudding level at this point.
Lapillus, who gives a fuck? But I will say that the crowd for that fight and the crowd in general for this card was fantastic. Like we watch so many Apex cards now and see so many Apex cards. When they go and have most of the European crowds, it was electric, man. When Lapillus came out and fought and shit. This little midget fucking Loughran, the shit he talked, flipping the crowd at the weigh-ins, like shit talking coming in the cage, and then does nothing. This dude's got like, I want to measure legs. I want to know a leg measurement chart of UFC fighters, because that dude's got to have the fucking shortest legs I've ever seen, bro. This guy can't fucking touch the pedals on a fucking 10 speed. Yeah, who gives a fuck about this fight? It's another fight that was just who gives a fuck.
I made some money on that fight, which is a rarity, so I gave a fuck about that one.
I bet the fucking
bet the over?
I bet the potato eating midget as a dog.
Oh, jeez.
That it was the last one I even bet too. Like, I was trying to find bets for this card, and I would have had like an okay winning night if I didn't give a unit away on that motherfucker.
Yeah, it happens. Shaun, prelim thoughts?
No, that was good. That's good for the prelims.
Wonderful. Main card. Morgan Chevier. TKO. Some tricky body kicks, and then just like started punting the dude in the body over the Zucchini Man. That's pretty vicious. Old Takanori Gomis body kick TKO over Yanis Gamuri with a side of Baba Ganoush. Volkan showing off the grappling game. Rear naked choke over Bogdan Guskov. We'll go with those three, because then we can actually talk about the other fights. Sort of. Couple of them.
Yeah, the Morgan kid actually looked pretty good. I know he had like a few losses early in his career and shit, and seems like the past couple years, like he won a Cage Warriors belt and shit and stuff in the past couple years. And man, like that shot, that kick he landed to the fucking liver was nasty, man. That was some nasty stuff. Fucking Billy, fucking Gomi, who cares? Another one who gives a fuck. And Volkan finishing a fight. This dude was literally fighting a guy that they pulled out of a fucking abandoned fucking train shaft. Like, this dude seriously looked like a fucking ogre out there, man. And man, Volkan got done to like minus 170 or something like that. That was madness. Like, he was fighting a nobody, like a dude that if he didn't knock Volkan out in a minute was fucked, like straight fucked. And that's exactly how it played out. I'm still not sold on Volkan. He's going to take a step up next time again and get fucking lose a shitty decision again. That's what's going to happen.
Shaun, anything to add?
The ref in the Gomez Gamori fight is that was a ride.
What happened in that one?
That was the one that was a dick kick, but not really a dick kick. And then they fucking called it a TKO and the fighter's like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
That was dumb.
There was some dumb stuff on this card.
Yeah, it was very dumb.
Did we have like Sal and the normal crew?
No. It was some local Euro refs for a bunch of the fights.
Oh, really?
There was one dude that I think did pretty good that did a couple fights, and he seemed like he did all right. But that guy there was a moron. He fucked up multiple times during the night.
Yep.
Well, one guy who definitely did good. The big swinging Denis. Benoit Saint Denis. I bet against him, and I learned my lesson. TKO. I think I learned my lesson.
Oh yeah, it's got to be. He's got skills and he pushes a pace. Like, obviously he gets punched too much, and that will catch up to him. But it's gonna take a pretty decent guy to catch that. And I mean, as we've seen, he takes an ass whooping. So it's gonna take somebody decent to put him out of there. I am finished losing money to this guy, so I'm sure he's gonna lose now.
Yeah, I mean, look, very, very impressive win against a legit tough out and Moises. Like, I think we all bet Moises in that fight as a small dog. And look, I'm very impressed, but like, I don't know. I still see some holes here, man. I do. I know that the pace is crazy, the durability is crazy. We watched a lot of
You know what can fill those holes, though? The big swing in Denis.
We saw Elijah Dushku fight the kind of fight against him, though. Like, if you can stay in there though and throw, if you gotta have a gas tank, you're gonna have to have decent takedown defense, and you're gonna have a little bit of pop. But there's guys in this division, like, not saying he can't. I think he's good. Like, he's gonna be a problem for most guys, but he's gonna hit a talent ceiling at some point, I think. Like,
definitely. I don't think he's a champion or something like that.
No.
Yeah, and I don't even know about top. I don't know about top 5 right there, but I think he's right there. I think he's
he can beat some top 10 guys, I think. So
yeah,
that's not terrible.
On a given night, his pace and durability could beat a couple dudes in the top 10, and that's fine. And yeah, that guy's a tough fucking out, man. Like, I underestimated him in this fight. I think in his past couple fights, but very impressed here. Like, Thiago Moises is no fucking slouch, no pushover, and man, he put it on him. He put a pace on him. I mean, at one point, Moises was just like, fuck it, and stood in the pocket, was throwing bungalows, was landing though. Like, man, they look 2 weight classes different. Like, that dude is massive for 155, and Moises is kind of small for the weight class. And when they were in the pocket throwing bungalows and Moises landed a couple, didn't even phase him. Like, he didn't even fucking flinch. And the punches he was landing on Moises was fucking him up, man. Good win, but impressive win.
Yeah, like, I see him struggling a lot against a dude like Alvarez, who's massive at 155 and can hurt you in a lot of ways. And even if he gets taken down, is going to throw stuff up.
Make it work, yep.
That'd be fun. Maybe that'll happen at some point. Co-main event. Not sure we care. Menonfio Probably the next title contender, maybe. I don't know. Make her and Blanchfield fight each other. Doesn't matter. She got a decision over Rose. I like that. I like when Rose loses.
Yep.
Yeah. Ended up getting a decent price, I thought, on Old Man on Fire too. And a shout out to Smoggy on Twitter. Probably the tweet of the fucking year. With the Pat Barry fucking shit. Like Pat Barry likes to what do you say? Discover the holes early and exploit
them.
Dude, I lost it. It was so good. But yeah, best part of that fight was seeing that tweet after.
100%.
I think one of my definitely top 5 most liked tweets ever was the picture of Stalin holding the baby. And I was like, yeah, that's when Pat Barry and Rose first started dating.
Yeah, they'll never get old with the Pat Barry fucking shit.
The best
MMA baby.
Do we want to talk about that at all? We're good.
Yep.
Main event. Cyril Gane back on track. It turns out that Sergey Spivak kind of sucks, and he's only good at heavyweight because he attempts to grapple. And then
except he didn't really here.
One of the best guys who has to fight, he doesn't try and grapple at all.
Well, he went for a takedown very early. Didn't get
but it was the first one was half-ass. He didn't really commit at all.
He tried for a couple and didn't even come anywhere close, and it looked like that guy immediately checked out. Was like, nope,
100%.
This is over with.
It says he tried for 1.
Yeah, I thought there was 2, but
I don't even know if they counted that first one because he just kind of rushed in, hunched over, and then that's about it.
I think it tells us just as much about Gane that Gane is actually very good when he's not fighting John fucking Jones. You know what I'm saying?
And I think he actually trained for this fight because there's been some fights. This dude is, I don't know. I think he's maybe finally committed because he's got some comments out there where he does not really like to train. He likes to fucking game and shit like that. I think he actually trained for this one.
Yeah, and any time that he's been in a fight and he's actually tried to do something, he's looked incredible. You know, it's the fights where he's doesn't look like he trained, doesn't give a fuck. I mean, we don't know how this newfound I'm training takedown defense now is working out because it didn't really matter here. I completely overestimated Spivak in this one. I'm not going to do that going forward. That's all I needed to see out of that guy. He got some decent wins against guys that were great matchups for him. Gane is legitimate. He's really fucking good, man.
At this weight class.
At this weight class. I mean, but his skills are very good comparatively to heavyweight too, though. That guy's a great kickboxer and shit.
And even when he doesn't train, he's a better athlete than all but
100%.
3 heavyweights.
He's an athlete, and his stand-up is fucking good. And nobody's good at heavyweight that can take him down, I guess, other than John Jones when he doesn't train.
That athlete part of him being the better athlete matters in about 95% of the guys he's going to face in the heavyweight division. He's that in this one. He's that much far and away better. I want to see him in Pav. That's the fucking fight. Let's find out if Gane can legitimately stop some dudes takedowns outside of John Jones, and can he take some fucking hands? Because I think Pav's better. I think he's way more well-rounded than Gane and shit. But who knows in a kickboxing match? If that Gane shows up in a kickboxing match, who fucking knows? I don't think any of it matters because the fucking king, the GOAT, is fucking all of these dudes up. It's laughable.
Unless he retires after beating Stipe.
The way he's talking, I don't. If he doesn't after Stipe, I don't think it's long after. He's about done. his talking now too, like he don't want to see Francis. Like John doesn't want to see Francis. He doesn't want to get in the cage with Francis. Like straight up.
Unless we are live in Vegas and we watch the Hog knock out Fury, then he'll want to hop in the cage with them for like
if Hog
knocks out payday.
If Hog was to knock out Fury and they actually could get that done, that would be the biggest fight in MMA history. Period.
If Hog knocks out Fury,
if he knocked
doing
out
an immediate rematch anyway, so none of it matters.
Yeah, that's
I mean, those things like
part.
Fury's a head case. Fury might not fight for 5 years if he gets knocked out. So
that's true.
Like,
that's true.
I'm just saying, if it was to happen, if Ngannou, the heavyweight champion of fucking the UFC, knocked out Fury pretty much got his shit taken and shit, but people considered him the lineal heavyweight fucking champion. If he knocks that guy out, like John Jones against Fury is the biggest fucking fight in MMA history. Period.
You mean Ngannou?
We're never gonna see it.
Fury's not fighting MMA.
Fury's not gonna get knocked out by Ngannou, but we're all hoping.
We can manifest it. Come on now.
We're all like our boy Water Show's lighting a dozen candles. We're all betting our knockout tickets.
Lance isn't even going to be watching. He's going to be somewhere else watching football.
He'll be in
We're
bed.
Gonna be
watching. He'll be in bed. Lance will be in bed. Those dudes they go to bed at like 9:00 out in Vegas.
The Spanish is terrible, but I assume everybody south of the border, and by that I mean the Canadian-American border, only speaks Spanish. So that's all I speak when I'm in the States.
I mean, sometimes when I talk, you
damn it, Shaun,
sound like I'm speaking Spanish, but
you never should have given me this power.
I know.
It's the worst.
That's okay.
Yeah, so that was Paris. Unless anybody wants to talk about it more. We're good. Yeah. And now the world tour continues. We're just doing like the reverse Grand Slam for tennis. Right? They started in America, England, France, Australia. It's exactly the backwards order. Wonderful. It's because I got tennis on TV. UFC 293. Izzy. Shaun Strickland? Pay-per-view headliner?
I mean, Izzy wanted to fight a white nationalist from some country. He got one.
He's got a line of them.
He's got a line. Fucking Dana's fucking pumping him out, boy.
It's like one of these guys is gonna get Izzy. I swear to God. Yeah, it's certainly a card that the UFC is asking. Well, I guess ESPN is asking you to pay $80.
Yeah, UFC don't give a fuck. They're getting their money regardless. So yeah, it's ESPN that's begging for this to be bought.
Yep. Kick it off in the welterweight division, I guess. A lot of city kickboxing, as we like to call them sometimes, shitty kickboxing guys on this card. Are either of these fellas one of them?
Oh, excuse
me. Yes.
So he's French, but he's in Australia fighting out of city kickboxing. Interesting. That guy is Kevin Jousset. He's taking on Kiefer Crosbie, who I've heard is from SBG Ireland. Wesley.
Not good. They don't even know how to spell their own names right over here and shit. Fucking Crosby. I know how you spell Crosby. Canadians know how you spell Crosby.
Yep, that's right. David Crosby. Oh, Sidney Crosby.
Sydney. Yeah. There you go. If I want to fucking lose more money, I was hoping Shaun would be on one of these size novice.
You wish.
Yeah, I mean, I know I saw highlights of it. I didn't see the fight, but Crosby made the Howboy do a Howboy a few months ago. And I think that's probably better than anything that this fucking Jousset guy has in his entire career. Don't like the SBG Ireland shit, but this other guy's at City Kickboxing, so it's the battle of who's the bigger body bag for the good fighter at the gym. Izzy or Buck Connor's not even over there beating these guys up anymore. You don't even give them that fucking respect. So yeah, I'm kind of leaning Crosbie to put something on this guy. I don't know if I can bet it, but plus money. If I won some football money that day, maybe I'll lose some money on an SBG guy. I mean, how else should I start out the card, right?
Shaun.
Don't have much here. This is SBG versus shitty cockboxing guy who's fighting just absolute no-name guys in the Oceanic region. It's a tough one. I'll pick the SBG guy because he's an underdog.
Yeah, you almost had me. I don't think much over Cowboy matters at this point. And the fact that I know who Brian Lowenjo is, because he fought Aoki on a Pride card, and I know who Georgie Karahanyan is, and he got absolutely smoked by Georgie.
Georgie chokes a lot of guys out, though. Like a lot of guys.
True. That's true. It's like not a bad loss by any means. He could beat a bunch of featherweights in the UFC still. It just makes me a little hesitant to bet on him. And that's all.
Well, we should not be betting on.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys are thinking. Psychos. Anyway, I'm going with the hometown Frenchman, Kevin Jousset. Featherweight.
Wouldn't it be Jousset?
No, because
isn't it soft now,
but they say it with the Aussie accent.
Oh,
yeah.
Gotcha.
I don't know if how do they do with T's? I know they say a lot of stuff that's like ta. Ta is like thank you, I believe. But anyway, that was just me covering for fucking up the French name. Featherweight division, Shane Young gonna have the hometown crowd behind him. The Aussie fans love them some Shane Young.
Love watching him get his ass beat.
Gabriel Miranda. Wesley.
Yeah, the Aussie fans they love the fucking watching their boy get the shit kicked out of him. Look, this one's not tough. Like Shane Young is fucking horrible, and we just talked about him. Big Dick Denis. Like I don't think that's a bad loss. Looking back on that, Miranda is at one of the best gyms in the country now in Masters, training with legit guys. I like him in a spot as a dog. I wouldn't even really have to look at anything on Miranda. Just a dog against Shane Young is almost an auto bet at this point. It being Miranda, who we saw against Denis, have a decent account of himself. Great gym. I like him there. I think you have to take the plus money, and if you get beat, you get beat. It's just a spot you got to play.
I don't know if I'd call it a good showing. I mean, he got his ass beat. He just hung in there for a while.
Yeah. I mean, he. I guess I would say he took more from Saint Denis than Shane Young's ever gonna be able to do to him. So, but good show. Yeah, not good showing though.
Shaun.
Yeah, Shane Young should not be favored against really anybody in the UFC. He is terrible. Miranda did not look great, but it's not a bad loss, especially on crazy short notice. Now he's getting a real fight camp, and I think he's going to be better. So you got to take the plus money odds there.
Yeah, like we just talked about how St. Denis is pretty massive for lightweight, and now Miranda's fighting at featherweight. That's a tough first matchup in the UFC. I think he's going to look significantly better here. Shane Young has pretty much lost to anybody who's borderline UFC caliber. And I think that Miranda just aggressively attacking submissions is something that Young isn't really going to be able to deal with. I know that he's been knocked out. I think that was the Decline man. Usually he loses decisions, but I just don't think that's because he's faced a lot of good grapplers thus far in his career. So we'll take Miranda. Probably get sub. Sub price. I didn't even really look at that. I'll let you figure that out as I slowly transition to the welterweight division for Charlie Radtke and one of the fan favorites on the card. Guy who has proven time after time that he is UFC caliber. Talking about Blood Diamond, of course.
Is that Dracus's boy? Gotta be, right?
He's the liaison between Dricus and Izzy. He's going to set up the fight. He's going to broker the deal. They're going to fight somewhere in the Central African Republic.
Gotta watch out. Gotta watch out. They're killing all those white farmers out there out here. You gotta be careful out there.
Not South Africa. Central's
good. Yeah. Different shade of.
What do we got here, Wes? Blood Diamond? Does he pull through?
No, man. Come on, Blood Diamond's absolutely fucking horrible, dude. I don't know. I've seen this Radtke guy fight a couple times, but I can't remember them. They are like once this year. I watched most of the CFC cards, but I can't remember it. Didn't go back to look. I'm not touching this fight. Blood Diamond probably gets beat up and finished at some point. I was looking, there's some over 1.5s out there. That's a little bit of juice. I don't know if Blood Diamond gets fucking smoked by this guy in a round and a half, but it's not anything I want to really look closer into, man. I got no feel on this fight, so it's gonna be a pass. But I'm picking Radtke for sure. Blood Diamond absolutely fucking sucks. There's no way you can touch that guy.
Shaun.
Miranda by sub is only like plus 195 at Bet Online. It's like plus 280 at the old Canby book.
Not bad. Okay. That's not bad.
Yeah. This I haven't seen Charlie Radtke, but he is the CFFC welterweight champion. So
that's the fight I watched. He won the belt last time, right?
Yeah. He smoked that guy in one round. So I think he's probably pretty decent. And Blood Diamond is not.
Might be a good parlay piece.
Yeah, if you're looking for action.
That's looking for action.
Yeah. Probably look sub. Maybe. I mean, probably knock him out on the ground as well. But yeah, I think Radtke gets it done.
Blood Diamond's like sub defense didn't look horrible against the old Bullfrog. So I don't know that it'll be super easy for this dude to get a sub, but it will be super easy for him to grapple him. And sometimes it's kind of important to look at the guys that someone loses to coming up. Radtke has those 3 losses, but they're to Montalvo and Gonzalez, who are both looking pretty good in Bellator, and Austin Hubbard, who say what you will about him, but he's capable of fighting in the UFC and giving guys tough fights. So none of those look bad to me. I've seen Blood Diamond a couple times now, and he just can't grapple at this level against somebody who tries to grapple, and Radtke does that. Don't know what I'm going to bet there. Who knows? Lightweight division. Haqparast, Landon Quiñones. Wesley, you have an opinion on this fellow. You've heard of this fellow, which is like 4 steps ahead of where I am. Break it down.
Yeah, I mean, Quiñones didn't look bad coming into Tough. I had a couple okay wins on Titan against some okay guys. That level of competition, even the decent dudes on Titan and stuff now, just you don't really know. Even though they have okay records, I still don't think it's like the greatest competition. And he goes into Tough and one gets on Connor's team, which was absolute shit show. Like that, some of these dudes like, oh, I get to train with Connor, but it's not a good thing, bro. Like the coaching and training was
you
just
get to train with Kavanaugh.
not good. Just not good, man. Yeah, he fought Jason Knight on there, and literally Jason Knight fucking pieced that kid up until he shot on Jason Knight, and then Jason Knight laughed and choked his ass out. Haqparast should work this kid. Does he finish him? I doubt it. Haqparast's just not a huge finisher, so I got Haqparast and like some chalky stuff already from just other sports and shit, but I was kind of looking Haqparast by decision is a little plus money here. Probably the way I would go. I think the money line's getting kind of up there. You don't really want to be shit's so volatile now, man. The sides I'm on usually don't want to be laying minus 475. So maybe look Haqparast by decision. The over is not bad either, but it's getting a little juicy now. There's like some minus 140s and stuff out there. I think the over 2.5 probably gets there as well, but I like Haqparast here quite a bit. I don't think this kid's very good. I'm not even sure why he's getting another UFC fight, to be honest.
Shaun, is it Haqparast?
It should be. It's pretty funny to look at Haqparast's record because he finished everyone before he got to the UFC, and in the UFC he's got like 6 wins and he has 1 finish.
Not even close to like.
Yeah, he's not dropping guys.
He cruises.
He's cruising. The skill gap here is very large, and he should finish this guy. That doesn't mean he is going to, because as we've seen, he coasts and doesn't have the ability, I guess, to finish decent level guys in the UFC. This guy's terrible, so I wouldn't be surprised if he gets him out of there.
Yeah, I kind of think he does. I've been low on Haqparast pretty much forever. I just think that he's got enough hand speed that he can do it to this guy. He should be able to.
Watch Jason Knight do it. He's got to be able to fucking
right.
This kid.
That's really the thing that sells me is that, yeah, like it could be very quick. And this is kind of like the Haqparast train, right? You know, he looks mediocre, loses a couple fights, and then looks good in the fight. Even if he doesn't necessarily get the finish, he'll like drop a guy or something like that. And this is the one where he looks good, and then we get to fade him as a minus 200 against some guy that is obviously going to beat him down the road. So I embrace it. I hope for the early finish because of that. And maybe we'll throw something dumb like that, like a round 1 TKO in a round robin.
To be fair, the guys that he beat but didn't finish in the UFC, they're all pretty fucking durable guys. Like looking back, like, you know, Makdessi doesn't really get finished very often. Rafa Garcia, same thing. Alex Morono, same thing. Like
those are like
those are pretty durable guys. So, I mean, maybe
we
Daikisi, like that's actually a good win. Never mind a guy that's tough to finish. So I think he does it. I think he does it. What's the round one price? Has to be good.
Yeah.
It's
under
gotta be
2.5 is plus money. So Haqparast round
one is
350, 380. Yeah.
Might take a little shot on that. We'll see. It sounds like round robin material. Anyway, we are moving on to, again, lightweight division. Just mentioned him. What a segue. That was you, Shaun.
Yep.
Proud of you.
Wow.
That's going to turn it around. That's the TSN turning point for your year. Jamie Mullarkey taking on John Makdessi. Shaun, since you tied it all together, and I assume you're actually familiar with these two, you break this one down first.
Look up split price whenever you get a chance.
I'll do it while Shaun's.
That's probably not a bad idea. I mean, I think Mullarkey should win. Mullarkey should be able to grapple. I know Makdessi hasn't been taken down that much in his UFC career, but I felt like he never really fought that many grapplers either. So I think Mullarkey probably gets takedowns. It is concerning that Mullarkey just got knocked out while he was winning a fight. I don't think Makdessi at this point in his career has that much offensive ability to get Mullarkey out of there, but he might make it close. So it's a bit scary to parlay Mullarkey.
I'm looking for it, Wes. I promise. But best fight odds sucks.
Yep.
So you break it down. I'll have the number by the end of your breakdown.
Yeah, I do think that. I think this fight probably goes 15, and I think it's going to be very close. I think we could see some scorecards all over the place. So I think betting the split here is probably one of the better sides on this fight if you're looking for a bet. Look, I've been on Makdessi sometimes and won some money. I've been against him and fucking lost. This guy just throughout his career, man, every fight he's in is just close. And sometimes it seems like judges favor his kicks and just the little flashy stuff he does here and there. It seems like he can steal rounds off guys. I'm not sure Mullarkey can get consistent takedowns on him. Like, Makdessi's a hard dude to take down, man. Could he get Makdessi to the cage and just grapple in periods of the fight and stuff? Yeah, I mean, he could, but I don't see him getting takedowns. And this stays on the feet. This is going to be a very, very close fight. So, man, at Makdessi over 2-1, Makdessi decision is sitting at like plus 360 or so. Like, those are some things I'm probably going to have to take some shots on in this fight. Just a fight I think is going to be really close and make it to the card. So Makdessi for me, Makdessi by decision, and I don't have access to splits yet. I will here in a few weeks, and I think just betting this fight to end in a split is a very good bet.
And you don't have access to splits, but this isn't the best price that you're going to see this week. Bet Online has it plus 300.
Oh, so Bet Online post those?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Damn, I guess I've never really searched for them. I didn't even think they.
I think my guess is they don't usually have as good a numbers as the FanDuel is the one that has the big prices, isn't it?
I cannot wait to get FanDuel for as long as I'll be able to bet more than $10 on it. But
yeah,
FanDuel is
actually they're not the.
I've heard I've heard FanDuel's actually decent. Will take some money from you for a while. Luckily, I'm going to have Circa here too, so that's going to be very, very nice.
Nice.
FanDuel's MMA props, especially early in the week, always go there. They look there first before like anywhere else because they're off on a lot of shit a lot of times.
Certainly are. I imagine that split prop will be like 400, 450 at DraftKings later this week when it's opened. But yeah, good to know that Bet Online's doing those just in case. Featherweight division. Jack Jenkins, he's a guy that fights in the UFC and has done so a couple times. He is taking on Jose Mariscal, who's like, he's not calling himself Jose anymore. It's Chepe now, right? Changed his name. Sure. Anyway, he's all right. Wes?
Yeah, I think we're at just another spot here, kind of like we talked about earlier. I don't think Jack Jenkins is very good. That split win, I guess you want to call it, against Jamal Emmers, like, this guy's just lousy, man. Mariscal, I mean, Trevor Peak is a bum, but he's a tough bum. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that was, decent win. You know what I'm saying? In your UFC debut. And, in LFA, this guy was fucking destroying dude. So, I just think he's probably the better all around fighter. This gets to the mat. I think he's got a huge advantage. So I like Mariscal small as a dog here. Probably a bet. I don't like him as much as the other spot. And is that our consensus on the other one? Did we announce that, or did we pick something different?
We'll roll it back. The consensus is whoever is fighting Shane Young and is a dog.
Oh, okay.
Plus
Like that.
Gabriel Miranda at plus 135?
45.
45.
Yeah, I like that fade on the shit Australian a little more than this one, but Mariscal should be able to get this done. I think he's got more pass here. I just don't think Jenkins is very good. And at plus 170, it's probably worth a small stab here.
Shaun.
This is probably another one that's probably not a terrible idea to bet a split on this one, because it's probably going to be a close fight. It's going to be an interesting fight because both these guys like to grapple. I do think Mariscal has fought the better guys. If you look who he fought in LFA and CFFC, they're a lot better than who Jack Jenkins has fought. Now, Mariscal did lose to most of those or all those guys that are decent in LFA and CFFC, but
he beat Sabatini and Yusuf Zalal.
Yeah, he did beat those guys. I was looking more Brito and Steve Garcia and Soriano.
I mean,
but
those are all better than anything that Jenkins has fought in the UFC at this point.
He's definitely been in there with better guys. It hasn't went his way for some of them, but I think there's a close fight. It's going to be a grapple fest. It's going to get close, and at plus money, it's hard not to take Mariscal.
Yeah, like the only two people that I know who scored that last fight for Jack Jenkins were Sal D'Amato and Chris Lee. Like that was a rough one. If he's on the feet, he doesn't do a lot. If he gets takedowns, and doesn't do a whole lot. I just don't think he's all that great. And I think that Mariscal, you've got an experienced guy who's fought tougher, more dangerous opponents, and he will keep fighting for 15 minutes, regardless of who he's in there against. I think he's going to take over in this fight. Maybe Jenkins gets a takedown early, but that's probably going to be about it. I think Mariscal is going to outmuscle him and outwork him for the duration of this fight. So we're going to take some of that as well at, what do you got there? Like plus 175? Love that. Yeah. 205. Final prelim, featured prelim, the one that's going to get people to tune into the pay-per-view, just buy it in droves. The Ulberg, Carlsberg, he's a handsome man. Maybe that's what they're going for.
The women, yeah, they're getting the women to buy this shit.
And he's taking on De Unhung. We know that he's a ladies' man as well, so... Wes, what's going to happen here?
He is a grower. Yeah, I mean, I kind of lean Dun Hung for some reason. I know Ulberg's probably gonna catch him and knock him out. I mean, I still got to see Ulberg hit again, man. I think Dun Hung's gonna throw some heat, and one of these dudes is gonna die. So probably can't bet Dun Hung. Like I think Ulberg is. I mean, the striking's just legit, but I gotta see that chin tested again, man. I think Dun Hung could do it. Kind of like the under. I think these dudes are going to throw. Dun Hung brings fights out of guys. Like he's got one fucking speed, and he's going to come forward. Going to give Ulberg chances. If Ulberg's what we've seen lately, he's going to give Ulberg chances to land that shit. So I kind of like the under 1.5 here. Might pick Dun Hung just because I got a feeling pick him at Master, but probably can't bet it. Ulberg probably knocks him out, but I'll pick him at Master, and I'll looking at the under for a bit.
The only man who survived the onslaught from Dun Hung, our boy Thick Willie, and Sam Alvey. That doesn't count. That was a draw, so it's stricken from the record.
Thick Willie might get taken down and lay there, but you know what? That man can go all night. He will lay there all night.
Gotta have a hell of a riding game to get Thick Willie out of there. I'll tell you
to finish Thick Willie off, it takes a hell of a ride. I'll tell you that much.
Shaun, try and bring us back from that.
I think Ulberg is gonna fuck him up. The under 1.5 around, pick 'em is probably the way to go. When this is on the feet and at distance, Ulberg is gonna wreck this dude. Maybe the unhung one has a chance if he gets in close and dirties it up, but I just don't see that happening. I think Ulberg cleans them out there pretty quick.
Man, I agree with Shaun.
Uh-oh.
That's not good these days.
The unhung's gonna throw. He's gonna throw.
Yep.
How far back was
just clips him early. The unhung just walks into something and goes to sleep.
2.5 years.
But man,
it's been 2.5 years since Nunchuck's got him. So yeah, we've seen quite a bit since then. Since Ulberg got called. So I'm not sure
even in that fight he was lighting Kenny
wrecking that dude. He just fucking asked out from beating the shit out of him. Which I guess could happen here, but I think Kenny Nunchucks.
We know the skill, the kickboxing skill difference here is it's humongous. Yeah, no doubt.
I just don't think that unhung can take it.
Nope.
I don't think he can take it either. I gotta see that chin's gonna be tested again eventually, and we're gonna see.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. There, so maybe that under 1.5 that somebody mentioned. Yeah. Let's see. Anyway, we are moving on to the main card. We're kicking it up a notch with the man with the best manager in the game, Tyson Pedro. He's taking on the Pleasure Man. It's a great time for everyone. Wes, what do you got?
Pick. I mean, just the nickname with the typology pick might be the best match in MMA. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning the old Pleasure Man here. Tyson Pedro's had hype and then not hype, and then you think he's hyped up again, and of course we got the bukkake all over him. That hell of a bet that was.
That wasn't modest. I'll tell you that much.
No. Like, I don't know. In Australia, man, I don't know. I think this fight could get kind of close, and just that shit kind of we saw France last week, man. You don't think that shit doesn't happen. It fucking happens all the time. Judges are biased as hell. Not saying this is going to definitely go 15 minutes, but I think it could go long. The Pleasure Man doesn't really like get into these wild brawls that it's going to give Pedro opportunities to catch him like he's done some guys. Now, can the Pleasure Man catch Tyson Pedro like that chin's been caught a few times? I don't see it. Probably going to pass on a side here. I do kind of like the over though. I like the over 1.5 a little bit. I just think the Pleasure Man is going to fight a little slower fight, and Tyson Pedro kind of looked that way last time against Bukaki. Like, think he's kind of a little more hesitant to engage and stuff. Worried about that chin as well. So, kind of like the over 1.5 a whole lot more than a side here. I'm going to pick the Pleasure Man as a side, but over 1.5 for a bit.
Shaun.
Yeah, Tyson Pedro's manager is doing fucking good work. Tyson Pedro is not keeping up his end of the bargain there. That's fucking, oh my God. I mean, Shogun Hua was able to take down Tyson Pedro. I think the Pleasure Man should be able to take down Tyson Pedro. I've been absolutely horrific betting this year in total, and especially on sides. So I'll probably go with a total in this one and go over. I don't think the Pleasure Man's just gonna get Pedro out of there quick, so he's probably gonna be grappling and grinding, and that's gonna make this sail over 1.5, and then maybe he gets a later finish because Pedro is not good.
I like the over as well. That's probably the thing I like the most in this fight. Plus 180 for over 2.5. And like, you can play the over 1.5, but I think this is going to turn into a grappling match and go all the way. And I'm not even sure that the Pleasure Man's going to out-grapple Pedro. I think it could be Pedro, or sorry, not out-grapple, but out-wrestle. I think Pedro could get the takedowns here and get on top, and his top game's all right for about a round, and then he just doesn't start to do a whole lot. And that drags this one out. Pedro by decision, plus 550 out there.
Ooh.
Interesting.
I think there's a certain jarred red sauce pasting man out there that's on the opposite side of that.
Uh-oh. He likes the Pleasure Man.
I think I saw that. To
withhold his pleasure for an entire 15 minutes.
It's tough.
That's a long time.
That's like an eternity. But yeah, either way, I think this is going a long ways. Like the over 1.5, as the guys said, and the over 2.5, and little Pedro decision. Heavyweight division, Justin Tafa. We saw the other Tafa. I still don't know like which is the older or younger. I assume Justin's older because the other one's junior.
Yep.
Makes sense. Yeah, he's taking on Austin Lane, who football. Wes?
Yeah, I think we've gotten to the point and realized that these fucking practice squad linebackers ain't the same as good football players coming and trying to fight, you know. I'm pretty sure I was on Lane last time. Small and on the fatties as well. Wasn't hating what I saw, like the small little bit that we got. I wasn't hating those two sides early. I kind of lean that way again. There's some almost 2-1 out there on Lane. Not sure I'm going to play a side again though. It's shitty heavyweight. So I'm going to go back to some time here though. I think if this doesn't end in 45 seconds to a minute, we're going to see it slow down like we always do, and a whole lot of nothing. So Fight starts round 2 is plus money. The over 1.5, there's some plus 175 out there. Over 2.5, there's some plus 350 out there. So all of those things pique my interest, and I will probably have a little bit on each one of them.
Shaun?
I bet Lane TKO at like plus 300 last time. This is shitty low-level heavyweights. Lane has finished every fight he's won. I'll stay with that.
Don't make it complicated, man. That's just
it's working this year.
Yeah, like my one point on this fight is it's always probably good to remember that Justin Tafa got absolutely clocked by Jorgen De Castro.
Yeah.
And that dude doesn't even throw leg kicks, so I have no idea how he knocked him out with the right hand. But that's a feat. But even still, I gotta go fatties. Has to be for the brand. So, Wes, I'm with you. I'm not sure I'm going to bother with the 2.5 and the decision, but, you know, I can be persuaded. We'll see. Flyweight division. Manel Kape taking on Felipe Dos Santos, who was supposed to be on Contender Series and now is on a pay-per-view main card because everybody wants to fight. Wes?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely reverted back last night to like the cupboard's a little bare. We got some spots coming up. Sign all these winners. Even the dude that literally put on one of the worst fights I've ever watched. It was fucking horrendous. It's like he wasn't feeling right tonight. Come on. Wow.
I'll be honest, I even had to stop watching Contender Series this year. It's just
I literally only watch now live to fade teeth. That's it. That's about the only reason I watch live. I mean, I did get a nice plus 625 last night in the main event.
Jesus.
Another one of those where they got some fucking juiced up Brazilian that's beating a bunch of cans and he goes in there and fights a kickboxer and gets knocked the fuck out. Yeah, I mean, I think you gotta like Kape here, but I don't know about this dude, man. I've gotten this fights wrong. He just sometimes doesn't do shit. I don't know enough about Dos Santos. I know he's had the one decent win in LFA. It wasn't like he looked great in that fight or anything. And he's beating up a bunch of fucking bums in Brazil. So, I mean, this is probably like 15 minutes of Kape fucking kind of pointing his way to a decision, I would imagine. I'm not laying, what is he now? Fucking almost 4-1 on him to find out. I think I was looking at a little bit of an over here as well. There's some 2.5 out there. It's some decent plus money. I haven't pulled the trigger because I don't know enough about Dos Santos, but I kind of lean this being like a Kape point kickboxing match and him winning a decision. So might look at that over 2.5 as some plus 145 or so out there right now.
Shaun?
Yeah, don't have too much here. I don't know much about Dos Santos either. You know, Cap seems to have turned it around. I know he didn't get Dvorak out of there. He did drop him. He looked pretty good in that fight. And then the previous two, he got those guys out of there inside of one. So maybe the hype train is finally coming around on Kape. I think he probably should get this guy out of there, but what do I know? Who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, it's the problem.
That's really the thing. You've got a 22-year-old Brazilian who trains at Dubronx's camp, who hasn't fought in basically a year. We have no idea what we're getting with this.
Got a bunch of weight to try to fight on Contender Series and then didn't end up fighting, and now he's fighting a couple weeks later.
he
on
could be
a pay-per-view in fucking Australia.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, he could be on the best Brazilian yams you've ever seen, and he might go over there and bust Kape's ass, and yeah, like he could be that good, or he could just be some guy that they're giving a fight to because he's at a camp that they use a lot, and they're getting him in the UFC. So no idea. I'm not gonna bet this one. I hope it'll be good, judging by the camp that Dos Santos is at and the way Kape fights when guys come after him. Should be fun. Co-main event, heavyweight division. Alexander Volkov, way too tall. Just too tall for a human being. Taking on Tai Tuivasa. Drinks beer out of a foot receptacle. Not my thing. I drink out of a glass. I'm not a savage like our boy Paul Shag. Just a disgusting maritimer.
At least it's his fucking boot, you know.
Yeah, instead of random people
That's true.
I'm
getting
their shoe.
I'm getting foot fungus on my fucking gums. At least it's gonna be my foot fucking fungus. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck is wrong with these
Wes
people?
is gonna be the evolution of that, like foot fungus doctor commercial.
Oh, that's the worst.
He's gonna have it on his teeth.
Oh god, stop.
Yeah, that's you know what? That's fair. It's and those people have been standing around, like probably walking around, watching. They've been at the fights. They're in the front row, so you know they gotta like walk back and forth to go get their beers and shit. Just that's disgusting.
What I want to know is, like, do you put the one wet shoe back on and walk out, or do you go out with no shoes? What do you do the rest of the night?
You're losing a sock. I feel like you just go barefoot, wet, fucking.
I mean, are you hitting the bars afterwards? You trying to pick up chicks? I mean, like, you're
the people who are doing.
If you get a clip,
they're not worried about that, right?
You get a clip of that, and you're like, "Hey, baby, this shoe did a shoey on the UFC pay-per-view that 12 people bought.
Yeah.
Come on." Anyway,
fans.
Wes, what are we going with here?
Yeah, I keep it pretty short. If Tuivasa doesn't catch this skyscraper pretty quick, get him out of there. We've seen Tai Tuivasa fights, seen Volkov fights too. I think after a couple minutes, Volkov would just start pumping that jab, pumping those body kicks. He'll eventually stop Tuivasa in the later second or third round if it gets there. So I like Volkov quite a bit here. I think it's a pretty good parlay piece price with a lot of chalk on this card. I think he at that a little over 2-1. That's a really good chalk piece.
Shaun?
Yeah, Volkov should win this fight. He has been caught, obviously. The Derek Lewis fight is amazing, but I mean, save for the Aspinall fight, he's kind of been doing what he's supposed to be doing lately.
He's looked good.
Agree. He's looked good. And I agree with Wes. He's going to be pumping jabs. He's going to be throwing that kick to the body, and he should be able to get it done. And Tuivasa will slow down, and he'll probably finish him in the second. But this is heavyweights, and dumb shit happens. So Tuivasa might just knock him out in the first round. But I'll be playing Volkov, so you know how to bet.
You know what's gonna happen. Mm-hmm. Brad's like Tuivasa round one.
Easy peasy.
I'm thinking about it. I don't think I can do it though. I came in with the intention to go Tuivasa round one. Plus 600 is out there, but even enough of his wins come like round two. Sometimes he'll get beaten up for a little bit. So I just think instead of getting beaten up for a little bit and then coming back and not going to do it out, he's just going to kind of continue to get beaten up in this one. But he's pretty tough. I think he'll take it. I think it's probably going to be a decision. I know that the Pav one was quick, but Volkov is not Pav. Those are two different Russians. That's some elitist Moscow resident against a fucking bear from Siberia. It's not the
Raised
same.
different. Raised fucking different.
These are not the same.
So yeah, probably Volkov by decision in this one. So I guess if I'm doing that, I gotta go fatties. It's like
They put a 1.5 on this. Oh man, I thought that was 2.5. I looked at that wrong. Yeah, yeah, you almost got a place in 1.5, man. Oh shit. Yeah.
Volkov by decision. Where's that? That's Camby's plus
Camby's
390.
Yeah.
Still plus 350 at a couple other places.
Yeah, like Tuivasa, the Greg Hardy fight sticks out a lot to where he like that gets into the second round and shit. Like Tuivasa, sometimes he drags him in there, man. The dude can take a shot, and I think that's what ends up happening here. He just doesn't get Volkov.
He used to be able to take a shot. I don't know anymore. I mean, those were big dudes banging on that.
Yeah,
so
Volkov's more of a volume get you out of there guy over that one big punch. So
yeah, definitely fatties, and then we'll see about other stuff. We'll see about the decision. Main event. Speaking of decisions, maybe. Izzy defending against Shaun Strickland, and Izzy not always known for being aggressive in fights, but Shaun Strickland is known for walking forward with his hands down in fights.
Yes,
so
he is.
Which one wins, Wes?
Well, first I'd like to give props to Izzy for being a dude that will actually fight, defend his belt multiple times a year. Fights fall out, he's fucking willing to fight the next dude in line and shit. A lot of these dudes ain't built like that anymore. So, and I know Izzy's taken some heat over the years about boring fights and this and that. Like lately, the dude's knocking out Alex Pereira and he's fighting whoever's there to fight. So props to Izzy. Look, I mean, Shaun Strickland is what he is. This dude's absolutely not going to come in there and try to grapple Izzy. He's a fucking moron. He's already saying it in interviews the past couple of days. You know, I probably should grapple. That would be the smartest thing to do. But when you walk in there, your dick gets hard and you just want to throw it down. Good luck, buddy. You know what I'm saying? And we know that's what Shaun Strickland's going to do. He's not.
Wait, has anyone ever followed up on that with him at a press conference and be like, Shaun, doesn't that make you gay? You get in there with another man and you're in your
head would explode. You can't do
that. That would rot his fucking brain. He wouldn't.
I gotta do that. I gotta get an interview with Shaun somehow and just see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I think you gotta like Izzy in this fight. I mean, this is just all things considered with how the fight's probably going to play out, what Shaun Strickland's going to do. It's a great matchup for Izzy. He's going to have a dude walking forward. Strickland walks in with his fucking hands like this the entire time and tries to throw fucking volume, and he's going to get clocked. He's going to get clocked often, and eventually Izzy's going to get him out of there. Like I like Izzy inside the distance here. 25 minutes of him walking forward in front of Izzy. It's going to happen. And on top of it, I think Izzy knows that Pereira got Strickland out of there. Izzy's going to want to get – that's still Izzy's rival. Like, whether he's moved on to another weight class and shit, those guys got so much history and shit. Izzy knows that he knocked Strickland out. Izzy's going to want to knock Strickland out, and I think he's going to do it. So I like Izzy inside. That's right around like minus 110 or something like that. I don't know. I kind of looked at the under, but I just don't think there's really any reason to. I don't see Strickland is a volume guy to get you out of there. And this isn't fucking Airbus fucking Magmadolf that was in the cage with him last time. I don't see him volume and Izzy to getting him out of there. So yeah, Izzy inside for me, and I got Izzy to close off chalk parlays of other shit. So I like him quite a bit.
Shaun?
I'm not sure, even if Strickland does wrestle, I don't know how much success he's going to have. I don't think he's on the level of like a Robert Whittaker. And really, other than him, they're really
not good.
There hasn't really been anybody else at 185 in the Izzy that is, you know, modern Izzy, not fresh in the UFC off kickboxing Izzy, that can really take him down. So I think Strickland will shoot some takedowns and get stuffed, and then he's going to be at range, and he's a dude that is going to bring it, whether it's to his detriment or not. And I think he is going to force action, and he is going to get lit up like a Christmas tree. I think Izzy gets him out of there in the middle rounds. Not sure if he flatlines him. It might need more of a just breaking down and him just kind of falling over and getting finished. I am scared of the randomness, Wes, so I am going to be taking under 4.5 at -115, -120.
It's not a bad bet.
Because MMA is fucking dumb as what we've seen this year, especially. So I'll take my total. I won't risk it for a couple extra cents on Izzy.
Not bad.
And then of course Izzy's gonna finish with like a minute left.
Izzy's gonna finish. Yeah, it's gonna be like 4:47 or some shit.
Perfect. Style on him for 23 minutes and then stop him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I would love to come on here and say that Strickland is gonna force a fight on Izzy and all this stupid stuff. I don't even think he's like capable of. I know he got takedowns against Uriah Hall, but I don't really think he's capable of wrestling at any sort of decent level. He pre-motorcycle stuff, he was a pretty decent, dangerous top position grappler when he chose to be, but I just don't think that's a thing he can or wants to do at this point. Which means that he is going to be plodding forward and Izzy's just going to be picking him off. He's going to be throwing jabs and stuff out there and trying to stop it. But yeah, he's going to get punched a lot.
He's going to get kicked a lot.
I mean, what Strickland does to win fights and shit with his volume game, like that is like sparring shit to Izzy. Like this could get ugly, man. I will say, like Strickland now, when he gets in on guys too, it's a lot of like upper body kind of grappling and grabbing guys and shit. That's what Izzy defends with ease now. He's so tall and shit. Like guys can't control him up top like that. He's actually got pretty good takedown,
especially against the fence. He's able to defend shit against the fence. If you get him out in the open, it's a lot easier. Against the fence, it's very tough.
He's next to impossible to take down next to the fence now. Like he's mastered that part of the grapple game. Unless you're fucking 220-pound fucking Jan. I mean, literally, that's the only guys that are getting Izzy down at this point.
Former MMA Analysis co-host Andrew Nixon.
Andrew's my boy, man.
Good.
Been meaning to text him.
Congratulations, sir. I hope you're pumped about UFC 293. I know there's anyone who tunes into every UFC event. It's our boy Andrew. Good to see you. Main event. Yeah. Like it's just he's gonna walk forward. Shaun, did you break this down already, or is it just West so far?
I did. No, it's you. We actually interrupted you halfway through your break.
I think it could be.
That's how good this card is.
I think it could be an okay fight. I just think it's gonna be get to be a little.
It's gonna be an awesome fight for when fucking Izzy does some highlight reel shit on Strickland.
Strickland.
I think that's the thing about this fight is like Strickland's gonna force that out of him.
Yeah, it's perfect.
We seen now multiple times what Izzy is capable of when a guy brings it out of him, and it is fucking destruction. Like the dude is incredible when he's actually got a guy forcing a fight in front of him. He's gonna get that.
Yeah. I might get a little more adventurous on the unders. Drop it down a round or two, because I don't think it's gonna take all that long. I don't think Strickland's super durable. So yeah, if Izzy gets it done early, great. I'll make some money. If he gets it done late or doesn't, I get to call him boring. Win-win either way. He's probably going to use calf kicks to do it because Strickland's leg is right there to be kicked. Which means I get to make fun of him for that too. So it's just, there's no losing here.
Strickland's soft. That man's soft.
I think he is. He, as the kids would say, he's low key soft. Yeah, I don't know what that means. But that's gonna do it. UFC 293. I think this is the one. This is the one, guys. We're gonna turn it around.
Hope so.
We do. Maybe the hat's here to stay. Who knows? Either way, you're all stuck with us. We're here to stay. Until next week.